What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan2000 here with another episode of JamiroReviews. Now, this special episode of JamiroReviews is going to be looking at two Jamiroquai related releases that came out August 30th of 2024. A brand new single from Rob Harris, of course the guitarist of Jamiroquai, and the highly anticipated first album from the band Galliano in nearly 25 years called Halfway Somewhere. First off, we had a brand new single from Jamiroquai guitarist Rob Harris, whom hasn't released a solo single in nearly 2 years in 2022, with his new solo single release that came out entitled Cabin Fever, which compared to his last release in 2022 with More Lemon Juice, sees Rob going more of an acoustic guitar direction, which is a welcome change, and the new single is absolutely awesome. Massive props to Rob on this new single, and I hope it's indicative of more single releases becoming from Rob in the near distant future. And I'd like to rate, I give Cabin Fever a review score of 4.5 out of 5 Buffalo Men. And finally, for this episode of JamiroReviews, next we have a first new album from the acid jazz pioneers of the London acid jazz movement that happened in the early to mid-90s with the pioneers Galliano. And this is their first album in over 25 years entitled Halfway Somewhere. Galliano, as always, was always an early 1990 to 1991 London acid jazz musical movement band that I had a love for due to the simple fact that they were the co-acid jazz records artists that would be the musical blueprint, which I've talked about in several episodes here on my JamiroFan2000 YouTube channel, for the oncoming band Jamiroquai, which signed to Acid Jazz Records back in mid-1992. Now, the new album Halfway Somewhere, in the format, the album Halfway Somewhere sees Galliano rekindle their acid jazz roots on a very strong return album. And the album's track list is very interesting because it is in the format of interlude, full song interlude for the patterning of its track list, which is something I haven't seen or heard of in track list structure from many musical artists in the last few musical decades. Now, the new album from Galliano for Halfway Somewhere, its lyric work is such a refreshing throwback. A group of respective swirls trying to cover the grounds of what they happened in the world over the past quarter century of Galliano not making music. The standout tracks on Halfway Somewhere for me, of course, are Circles Going Around the Sun, General Rubbish versus the Sportswear Mystics, Jazz in the Breaks, and a great song called Cabin Fever Dub. Cohesively, this is a sorely needed return to form album for Galliano, and definitely one of my favorite albums of the latter half of new calendar music releases for the latter part of 2024. And I would like to score this album from Galliano, this return album from Galliano, of nearly 25 years for the album Halfway Somewhere, with a perfect score of 5 out of 5 Buffalo Men. And those are my reviews of those two new Jamiroquai related releases. But also another notation I need to make: Galliano does feature one of the members of the Jamirettes, and for any members of the family who don't know the Jamirettes, those are the female backup singers for Jamiroquai, going all the way far back as Traveling Out Moving with Valia Entian. Well, she was an original member of the band Galliano, so I had to make that note. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of JamiroReviews, and I hope you check out both albums in your own time, or I should say single and album in your own time, and I'll be sure to provide stream links on Spotify and YouTube to that new single from Rob Harris, and of course the new album from Galliano, down in the description area of this episode of JamiroReviews down below. So be sure to check that all out in your own time, and massive props to Rob Harris and to all the band members of Galliano for putting out two amazing, strong new music releases for the online Jamily to check out in their own time. But as always, this is JamiroFan2000, and I'll see you really soon with more content here on the JamiroFan2000 YouTube channel. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you around.